Salutations, I'm Chevalier, and I bid you welcome to the situation and guide of Britanny. Britanny is, I would say, a hard nation to play as, mainly because of the situation that they're in. Simply, they do not have any potential targets for attack. The only target is Provence, then they have to fight the big guys, France and England, so they're really gonna be slow in expanding. Although they can form France, so it's good as well, you can actually do some tricks there. But now, let's just jump into the game and look at the situation. First, we're gonna go for cash. You have just one fort in Finisterre here, which I recommend killing, because Finisterre is not gonna be of any defensive solutions to you, so better than to just not spend the cash. Field maintenance, you won't need it that much. You just have into the Genoa trade node here. The best you can do is actually just multiple these guys here and just send these guys to actually protect trade in Bordeaux, and that is pretty much it. Nothing more to say. You're gonna maybe get some cash, but that's about it. For trade, as I said before, you're in the Genoa trade node. You'll eventually push to Champagne, then the English Channel trade node, or to Genoa. Whatever floats your boat, I recommend English Channel trade node. It's more accessible than the Genoa trade node. Now, let's go to estates. As you can see right now, you are in a little bit of a trouble, simply because you don't have that much of a development, that many provinces, not development. So if you give them one province each, they're gonna have a huge amount of influence in your lands. So my recommendation is to simply just increase this to some degree. My recommendation here is just demand 6 support, then go for a recruit minister. So basically you will go for the Inquisitor. That's the best option. You're gonna go to 80. It's a little bit tricky, but with some luck, if you increase some development, you're just gonna go down. As for the nobility, pretty much same trick, only that you're gonna go with Colodite. It's gonna get it to 63. Then you can put the Grand Generalship, and it's gonna get you to 83. If you take some less from province, it's gonna go down. For the bourgeois, pretty much nothing you can do here. You need to give them one province. If you want, you can give them Finisterre. It's doable, but as you can see here, it's better for you to give it to the nobility, because they have four manpower. So just wait. You don't need them that much right now. It's better for you to wait later on and give them, I don't know, Normandy, or probably Normandy here, or Caen. Actually, Caen is better because it's a history, but yeah. Next, let's talk about the court. Our guy shit. His heir is better. It's a 2-3. My recommendation is kill them both and see who survives. So just make them both into generals and let God be with them. As for options, you're gonna go for national focus on admin, followed by an advisor here, the one that has half the cost, so be this guy here, and here not gonna take anything. Let it be noted that if you want to go for a military idea, and we're gonna talk about ideas, you have to switch to military and get a military advisor as well, if you want to go for a military idea first. Now, government, you're a duchy, pretty much standard stuff here, nothing much to add. Monarchy as well, so standard stuff. For diplomacy, you started an alliance with Burgundy, and you should probably reinforce this with an alliance with the enemies of France. That is your best option, and enemies of Provence at the start. For example, you can ally Savoy, the Papal State. So allying Savoy or Papal State, so you can actually attack Provence, so you can actually take lands from Provence. Anything of this sort here. So, enemies of Provence, enemies of France for allies. That's pretty much it. You're first gonna attack Provence, then you're gonna have to wait most likely. As for rivals, first is Provence, and next one nobody, nada. Portugal is too far away, so you don't actually want to rival Portugal. Of course, they actually rivaled you for some fucking reason, but yeah. So just Provence, then take lands from Provence, then Godspeed. Now we're going to talk about cash, trade, technology, and on technology here, it's pretty much standard stuff. Boost to Tech 5, use the modifiers. For diplomacy, wait for for the idea if you want to go for a diplomatic idea. If not, just use the modifiers. For military, pretty much the same stuff. Wait for the -5%, or if you want to go to war or you feel threatened, just boost it up whenever you can. For ideas here, it's gonna be a little bit tricky, but first let's go into the bread and ideas. You have the yearly navy tradition, which is scrap. You have the trade string, which is scrap. They're not gonna help you to any degree in the early game. They're really bad. Then you have the wholesale corporation, which is really shit. National unrest, not that great, just -1. If it was -2, it would have been perfect. You have the 4 defense plus 20% crap. Missionary strength plus 1% and papal influence. This is quite good, I would say, but still they are better. The missionary strength is good, +1. It could be better with +2, but the papal influence is really good, and it's really gonna help you keep on the Korea game, basically. Just be in control of the Korea. So that's good. Ship cost -10%, not that useful. Diplo rep +1, not that great. Prestige +1, not that great again. You have the naval force limit +25%. Overall, this is quite crap. I truly recommend switching to France because the ideas suck. They're really crap. Now, let's go for national ideas. So, there are, I would say, 2 options right now. First and foremost is the standard land expansion with influence, admin, followed by exploration and expansion. So you can go to a new world as well. This is pretty much standard I recommend for the guys that do not know how to play and are, let's say, medium level experience as a player, and they basically cannot balance stuff out. For the more experienced players, I recommend going quantity followed by exploration, followed by expansion, and a heavy expansion into Castile and Portugal to take these lands here. If you declare war on England, you'll most likely get the lands. Call in Portugal, and you can take lands from Portugal and just feed them to yourself, which is doable. But you must be the war leader. Remember this. Now, these are your primary ideas. If you want to go for military idea, just simply go and pick military focused and a military advisor, so you can have the spare points. If you want to go for diplomatic ideas, just go as I went right now, and just go influence, admin, exploration, expansion, and then a military idea. If you go for quantity, exploration, expansion, you'll most likely want to go next for influence followed by admin, or just 2 points in admin so you can get a core creation cost, then influence. It's up to you how you want to pull it off. Depends on in which situation you're in. If you're the HRE Emperor and you need a diplomatic rep, if you need more vassals and of that sort, just go for influence ideas. If you want to just use admin points to core, or you went into this side here, basically to Africa and India and anything of that sort, and you want to have trade control power, so you want to core stuff here, just go for the admin points for the admin tech so you can get the core creation cost -25%. And that is pretty much on ideas. For missions and decisions here, we can, for France, you do have some flavor events and some missions for flavor. They're not that important, they do not actually bring anything forward. They're just there to give a decent amount of flavor, but not that much. As for the form the French nation, you need to own some lands. We'll talk about how you should pull this off and what is your best options, and there are some good ones. If you know how to play this, you can actually feed the French lands to your vassals. That will mean that you can actually, when you actually integrate them, if you form France, you're gonna have them for free for no cost there. So that is great as well. They can actually improve the provinces themselves. Pretty much good stuff there, but we're gonna talk about this in the expansion guide. For stability and expansion, pretty much reduce your exhaustion whenever you feel the need to put stability to 1 earlier on. For this I recommend going for native repression. You need to expand really fast, and you will need to send some troops there to keep them in check, but the +20 is gonna be really good. You don't have actually the time or the position to go for the native trading policy. For religion, you're Catholic, Korea control. Unfortunately, you do not have any zones basically that can be so General Cardinal, so you can actually spend papal points, papal influence. But if you actually attack some of their lands, you can probably take some. See, England has one in London, France has one in Paris and Armagnac. So if you can take Armagnac, but Armagnac is here. There's one in Salamanca, one in Bourbon, Napoli, and Papal State. Papal State doesn't have any actually, and one in Milan. So really hard if you take Armagnac from here. Armagnac is where the fuck is Armagnac? Rouge, Auvergne. Armagnac is here, right? No, there you go. We have one in Armagnac, so you can take Armagnac, but again, quite a while away. Now, this is it on religion and the career control. Let's go to military. For military, you have 18, if 11 force limit. My recommendation is go 10, sorry, not 10, 5. God damn it. Go with what was it? 632. So basically, we'll go for 6 infantry, 3 cav, and plus 2 infantry. So that will be 8 and 3, and then we'll go with 8 and 2. Then go with whatever. So just have a maximum alignment with cav. That's my recommendation. For force limit, try to have some cash, to have some spare cash to build barks. Barks to build galleys. No, god damn it. To build carracks. My bad. To build carracks, so you can actually fight off against England earlier on, later on, not earlier on. But yeah, I just try to build some carracks here to have some more power. And that is it on the army. There's not much more to say here. We already made your leaders into generals. That's pretty much it. We already talked about the states. Last and final thoughts. The HRE. Try to become the HRE Emperor by simply having an alliance with the electors of Trier, Mainz, and Cologne. Alliance will improve relations, and with some luck you'll be able to become the HRE Emperor and have that massive boost into force limit and manpower. But yeah, this was the situation and guide of Britanny. As you can see, it's quite simple. They don't have that many opportunities. They have a small amount of lands, less development than you need to have. As well, overall, no cash, no manpower, and they're in a dire situation because of their location. But yeah, difficult but not impossible. I'm Chevalier. Hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, comment, like, and subscribe. I really like feedback, so whatever you can tell, you suck, you don't suck, like, don't like. I just want to know how do you feel about this, and what do you want me to add. Also, as for merchants here, because they're already free and I forgot about them, pretty much just collecting Genoa. They actually aren't put in previous patches. They were put in one in Champagne and one in Genoa. They're different layout for the trade nodes actually. So yeah, just collecting the English channel trade node and collecting to the general trade node. You can get a little bit more cash there, but nothing that huge. But yeah, I'm Chevalier. Hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you next time, guys. Ciao.